High above the sleeping world, where the stars twinkle like gentle night lights, lived a family of soft, fluffy clouds. Among them was a small cloud named Whisper, who loved to watch the world below drift into peaceful slumber each evening. Whisper was different from the other clouds. While they could easily transform into beautiful shapes, Whisper remained a simple, round puff of white. Each morning, Whisper would watch as the older clouds created wonderful shapes in the sky. Rabbits hopping through invisible fields, trees swaying in gentle breezes, and boats sailing across the endless blue. "Dear Grandpa Cloud," Whisper would ask softly, "how do you make such lovely shapes?" Grandpa Cloud, who was wise and patient, would smile down at little Whisper with warmth that felt like moonbeams. "The secret, my dear one, is to feel the gentle rhythm of the wind and listen to the quiet whispers of your heart." Every evening, as the sun painted the sky in soft colors of pink and gold, Whisper would practice. Sometimes the little cloud would try to stretch into the shape of a flower, but would only manage to become a slightly larger puff. Other times, Whisper attempted to become a butterfly, but remained round and fluffy. One particularly peaceful night, as the stars began their slow dance across the dark blue canvas above, Mama Cloud floated near. She wrapped Whisper in a soft, misty embrace and whispered, "Sometimes the most beautiful shapes come when we're not trying so hard. Close your eyes, dear one, and feel the quiet of the night." Whisper closed his eyes and felt the cool evening breeze caress his fluffy edges. The little cloud began to notice how the wind moved differently in various parts of the sky. Some currents were warm and gentle, while others were cool and playful. As Whisper floated, listening to the lullaby of the evening winds, something magical began to happen. Without even trying, Whisper's edges began to softly stretch and flow. First, they became like ripples on a calm lake, then like the petals of a sleeping flower. The transformation was as natural as breathing, as peaceful as dreams. "Look," whispered the moon in her gentle, silver voice. "You're dancing with the night." Whisper opened his eyes to see his reflection in a still lake below. There, mirrored in the quiet water, was a shape more beautiful than any the little cloud had tried to make before. A perfect crescent, just like the smiling moon above. Night after night, Whisper learned to play with different shapes, each one coming naturally as feelings flowed through him like quiet streams. When he felt happy, he would become a gentle heart floating across the sky. When he felt peaceful, he would stretch into the shape of a sleeping swan. Other young clouds began to notice Whisper's graceful transformations and asked to learn. With patience and kindness, Whisper shared what Grandpa Cloud had taught about listening to the wind and what Mama Cloud had shared about not trying too hard. Together, they would float in the evening air, letting their shapes flow as naturally as dreams. As the seasons passed, Whisper discovered that the most beautiful shapes came not from copying others, but from expressing the feelings that lived inside. Sometimes, on quiet afternoons, children would lie in soft grass and point up at Whisper's gentle forms, making up stories about what they saw. Grandpa Cloud would often float nearby, watching with pride as Whisper created shapes that told stories of peace and comfort. "You see," he would say to the other clouds, "sometimes the most wonderful gifts come when we learn to be still and listen." On special nights, when the moon was full and the stars were especially bright, all the clouds would gather for what they called their dreamy dance. They would float and swirl, creating shapes that flowed one into another like a gentle lullaby made visible in the sky. Whisper's favorite time was just as the sun was setting, when the sky turned soft shades of lavender and rose. That's when the little cloud would transform into peaceful shapes that helped the children below drift into sweet dreams. Shapes like sleeping bunnies, gentle lambs, and soft pillows floating in the evening air. As our story draws to a close, remember that somewhere up above, Whisper and the other clouds are still dancing their quiet dance across the night sky. They float on gentle breezes, creating shapes that bring peace and comfort to all who watch from below. And perhaps tonight, as you lie in your cozy bed, you might catch a glimpse of a small, gentle cloud transforming into shapes that speak of sweet dreams and peaceful sleep. For Whisper learned that the most beautiful shapes come not from trying to be like others, but from being true to the quiet wisdom that lives in every heart. Now, as the stars continue their twinkling dance and the moon spreads her silver light across the world, it's time to close your eyes and drift into your own peaceful dreams, where clouds dance and shapes flow as gently as whispers in the night.